Good evening, I'm Nate Puterbaugh, their sports update. The Columbus Blue Jackets look to make it 3 in a row tonight at Nationwide Arena as they play host to the Vancouver Canucks. Former CBJ captain Adam Foote returns to Nationwide tonight as the head coach of the Canucks. Puck drops at 7. Catch coverage immediately following the Buckeye show. Earlier today, Ohio State defensive end Kenyatta Jackson announced he'll return to Columbus for his 5th season. He had 11 tackles for loss and 6.5 sacks in his first year as a starter. The Buckeyes picked up some new players in the transfer portal today. They added Alabama defensive back Cam Calhoun and 7th-year Florida running back Jacoby Jackson. And in NFL news, sources indicate the New York Football Giants are finalizing a deal to make John Harbaugh their next football coach. This update brought to us by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better. Breaking sports news what happens to the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Ring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
And Brad Rucker for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Thursday. I'm Brandon Bean, hanging out with our guy, the Murph Dog, Patrick Murphy of Bucknuts. We got Nate behind the glass. Patrick, happy Thursday to you. My friend, what's going on? Good to talk to you.
Nothing. Another week almost in the books. We're done with NFL draft declarations, though there were 2 Ohio State guys who chose to wait until today to announce they were coming back after the window.
Couldn't you infer that if they didn't announce it last night?
I don't know. I mean, I don't
know. There's no rules. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, I assume, from my understanding, the way this works, they put their name in, but do they have to announce that they did that? I mean, somebody would probably report it.
I don't know.
And we got one more day for players to announce they're going to the transfer portal. So we're getting there, slowly but surely.
You're going to be with me tomorrow from 6 to 8. How excited are you going to be when the transfer portal officially closes for players that are able to get into the transfer portal tomorrow? I don't know. There's not a time deadline on that, right? I think it's 11:59:59 that you have to be in by.
Yeah.
But how pumped are you going to be when that deadline ends and you're not going to have to be pretty much looking at your phone all day, every day for 24 hours a day?
It does make my life easier to some degree. Now, there's still guys that can commit, so
yeah, of course.
We're going to be monitoring that. But yes, I mean, I can't tell you the number of times I've had to text one of my coworkers at Bucknuts and be like, "Hey, I have to go do this really quickly. Can somebody manage, just keep an eye, make sure somebody's keeping an eye on things in case something happens." And the number of times that I've been at the grocery store when a kid's committed. I've been at the gym now twice. Once when Bo Jackson was coming. That's not transfer portal, but could have been transfer portal. And
was close to being transfer portal.
Yeah, and then another one today. When Calhoun committed, Cam Calhoun from out of the transfer portal. So it's just, it's been tough to do literally anything unless you have other people that can monitor this stuff.
Yeah, for sure, right? So it was kind of a busy day, actually, and we'll go back to last night. Connor Hawkins out of Baylor, he announced his commitment to Ohio State. He's a kicker. We talked about his stats. So Ohio State did get a kicker out of the transfer portal. We are all expecting him to be the starting kicker for Ohio State.
He's the only kicker right now.
Oh, so is he? All right.
There is no other kicker on the roster.
Well, yeah, so Connor Hawkins is going to be the starter out of Baylor. Kicker, good record. Again, I don't have his numbers in front of me. I was reading them last night, but a career long of 54 yards. Pretty decent numbers for Connor Hawkins. So we'll see what he can do. That was last night's news. And then today, Pat, I feel like it wasn't really until 90 minutes, 2 hours ago where you did kind of have a tidal wave of news. You have a couple of new additions. Cam Calhoun, defensive back for Alabama, committing to Ohio State. Jacoby Jackson, who is a 7th-year running back out of Florida, announcing his commitment to Ohio State. And then you pair those new additions with Kenyatta Jackson announcing that he's going to return, and Jermaine Matthews. All in all, you tie that in. That is a rather large day for the Buckeyes on the transfer portal and roster retention front.
Yes, and it all happened within an hour.
Yeah, it did.
Maybe a little bit more.
It was quick.
But good news for the Buckeyes for sure. I think starting with the guys coming back, we've talked about Kenyatta Jackson and Jermaine Matthews before. Those are guys, they could have gone. I think another year back makes a lot of sense for both guys to boost their draft stock, and they can both help the Buckeyes. Obviously, I think, as I said, I think on Tuesday when we were doing this, the tea leaves had started to point to Jermaine Matthews coming back with what the Buckeyes were doing in the transfer portal, and certainly good. I think Jermaine had a really good year and can build on that. Kenyatta, I think, can now be a guy who can get after the quarterback. He's going to have some help on that defensive line with some of the additions they already made. And then looking at the guys coming in, I think you've got Calhoun, who's a guy this is his fourth different school, which I think normally raises my antenna a little bit when a guy is moving around that much, but maybe that's just the way of the world.
Started at Michigan.
He did, yes. Started at Michigan, Utah, Alabama, and now Ohio State. I think probably not a guy who's going to come in and immediately, start.
He's going to be a depth piece.
Yes, and I think, you hope that it pans out, that he can contribute and maybe help you in a year or so. And then obviously Jacoby Jackson, the running back. This is somebody that I think can you mentioned it. He's been around college football a while, right? The Buckeyes got older in that room, which you needed with James Peoples and CJ Donaldson both leaving. Your oldest guys are 2 sophomores. So you want to add some experience there. His numbers aren't anything that are going to jump off the screen, but some injuries, obviously.
You know what, man? DB numbers are never going to do that, because the whole year, I saw Alabama fans, Michigan fans be like, oh, this Caleb Downs, he's supposed to be, the protector of the realm. That's the guy. Like, he's your MVP. Look at his statistics. And I'm like, that's not the way that it works for defensive backs. If you watch any bit of football, you know that Caleb Downs is eliminating basically a half to quarter of the field just the way that he is patrolling things. And again, I'm not saying that that's going to directly translate to what Cam Calhoun is going to bring to Ohio State, but I think when you're talking about defensive back statistics, you can't just look at tackles and PBUs. Yeah. Because a lot of the times, if you're doing a great job as a defensive back, the quarterback's not even going to look to that side of the field, or he's not going to throw to that because it's covered. So that's at least, I guess, my hot take with DB stats, where I'm like, I'm not just stat looking when it comes to guys. I'm sure that Mark Pantoni and Ryan Day, Matt Patricia, whoever be on that defensive side of the ball who brought this guy in, they're looking at him as like, yeah, that guy can help us.
Yeah, I think it was Jeff Okudah, if I remember correctly, like his last year at Ohio State, there was no stats because no one threw to that side of the field.
Right.
It might have been, I don't know, one of Ohio, when they were on that run of DBs, one of those guys, like, coming out, it was just like, there's nothing to write about because he just did his job.
Sounds right about Jeff Okudah.
Yeah, he was
terrific.
Okudah or Marshawn Lattimore, I want to say. But I just remember trying
Either one, it would make sense.
Yes, I remember trying to write, like, pre-write a story about him getting drafted, and it's like, what do I include in here about his last year? Because he didn't have very many tackles. He didn't have any intercept, those type of things, because, like you said, he just shut down part of the field and quarterbacks attacked other guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And then big news coming for Ohio State. Jermaine Matthews, again, going with the Cam Calhoun news.
Yep.
You would have to think, all right, well, what's the cornerback situation going to be? They'll navigate that when they get into winter practices, winter workouts, and then spring ball. And then Kenyatta returning, I think, was kind of the last big domino for Ohio State. Justin Zwick and I were doing the show last night. You can go back and listen to the podcast, watch the show on YouTube. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us and chatting on YouTube here this evening. The Kenyatta piece was the last piece that we knew was kind of going to come down to the deadline. And when did that come out, Pat? That came out this morning, right? So that was past the NFL announce date that you needed to declare for the NFL draft. That one kind of went down to the wire. Now, it was trending that he was going to return, but you add him in with those Bama pieces and some of the returning pieces that you have for Ohio State. That's a good get, having Kenyatta back for another year of development. And, of course, you're going to want production out of him because you saw him kind of take over games at some points this season.
For sure. And I think you saw it towards the second half of the season now. Some of that was the way that the Buckeyes were using him early on to try and cage the pocket in and let
matchup dependent, right?
Yes, absolutely. But now I think he can be more of a guy who gets after the quarterback a little bit more, like Caden Curry did, like you'd expect from Ohio State defensive ends. And as you mentioned, like, this isn't just Kenyatta by himself. You've got some guys coming in. You obviously have some younger guys too that now have a mentor, so to speak. A Zion Grady has another year with Kenyatta Jackson, for example.
Excited to watch Zion this year.
Yeah, and I think, like, I know there was the excitement about Chaz Coleman early on, and what he did at Penn State. at least in the limited time he played this year. But like, I think you've got a similar guy in Zion Grady that, fans should be excited about. And I get that there is, you can see it. Like, you look at our page view numbers for stories about transfer portal guys or commits versus guys coming back. Like, people get way more excited about the new thing, right?
But, it's like when I play FIFA, man. I'm always excited about a transfer I add either in the summer or winter window than guys who are returning to the team. I think it's just a natural thing to do with fans because the likelihood of you watching all 12, 13, 14 of Alabama's games with, Russaw, like you're watching all Ohio State games probably with a pretty hard eye. And so you're like, hey, well, this guy had this and this and this, and he's 6'3", 245 pounds. Imagine what he could do in an offseason here. Like, we're excited to see him. So I get why fans are more excited about transfer players coming in because you haven't paid attention to them as much as you're paying attention to your own guys.
Yeah, and you can sort of, call it fantasy, call it projecting, sort of have an idea of like what this is going to look like. It's reason why the NBA free agency has become probably the best part of the NBA season outside of maybe the playoffs. The NFL has started to really lean into that as well in the offseason. So, people get excited. It's the new thing, and I get it, but Kenyatta and Jermaine coming back are just as big as anything Ohio State's added this offseason, outside of maybe a kicker, just because you didn't have one.
Yeah, that seems pretty big as well. What else is burning in Pat's brain about the Buckeyes? We're going to find that out coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
They didn't have skim milk for your coffee, so I just got formaldehyde.
Oh, isn't that stuff in floor cleaner?
Pizza's here. Would you like cheese on that? Or how about a Crowley?
Oh, no, that's in bug spray.
Hi there. Would you like to sample our new scent? Diethylene glycol.
Isn't that the stuff in antifreeze?
You wouldn't want to eat it, drink it, or even smell it, but that's exactly what's in your vapes. If you vape, quit. If you don't vape, don't start. For help, go to odh.ohio.gov/no vapes. A message from the Ohio Department of Health.
Flexible, secure, fun. Oh, and great pay, too. Are you not sure what you want to do for a career? Or are you thinking of changing careers? Being a dental hygienist or dental assistant may be the perfect fit for you and provides all of these perks, plus more. Talk with a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org to learn more. Become a valuable member of the dental team and start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Come on over to Heartland. Join our family.
Now, where can you get a full suite of business banking services served up by well-trained, caring employees with unquestionable integrity? It's right here at Heartland. Relationships matter. I'm Scott McComb. Come over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Modern Office Methods, your authorized RICO dealer, can help your business optimize your print production with a competitive advantage. Our digital printing options will expand the type of paper and substrates from what your business can print on today. Add variable data capability, which allows for personalization of catalogs and mailers, and the ability for short-run label printing, which allows your business to print high volumes of custom labels quickly and on demand. Want to learn more? Start with a print assessment at momnet.com. Why risk it? You can count on Mom.
Paul Keels here, voice of the Ohio State Buckeyes. You have to check out the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. Get all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Buckeye sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeye MVP membership upgrade for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And when you download the Kroger app, you can clip and save more with digital coupons every week. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you can enjoy more ways to save and more rewards every time you shop. So it's always easy to save big every day with savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
It's a playoff Saturday doubleheader on the Fan 2. The Bills and Broncos get things started at 4. With the 49ers and Seahawks in the nightcap.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Catch the action on the Fan's HD2 and 1460 AM.
Buckeye Nation, join us on April 12th at the 2026 Ohio State 4-Miler, presented by Union Home Mortgage, the Ohio Beef Council, and Raising Cane's. This is your chance to run down a tunnel and finish on the 50-yard line at Ohio Stadium. You can also get access to the home locker room and meet some of your favorite Buckeye student athletes. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. This is something you won't want to miss. Register today at ohiostateformiler.com. Go Bucks!
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Fan weather
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
After Central Ohio, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. We're looking at quiet weather through this evening, but then snow chances return as we head into Friday morning. Temperatures in the teens early. Should see only minor accumulation, but watch for slick spots. Light snow chances continue from there through Saturday. Temperatures mostly in the 30s. More cold air arrives as we head toward next week. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
We here at The Fan believe there's no such thing as too much Ohio State coverage. You're locked into the Buckeye Show.
We here on the Buckeye Show, brought to you by our good friends over at CareSource and United Healthcare. Coming up here, 6:30. Get you out to Nationwide Arena. Jackets against the Knuckleheads at 7 o'clock over at Nationwide Arena. Game number 2 of the Boneyard. Rick Bonus in charge.
Are you allowed to punch a head coach in the face in hockey?
Why? What do you want to do?
Adam Foote.
Okay.
Yeah, punch Adam Foote in the face tonight. Used to be a thing.
You want to go over there tonight?
Possibly.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Who cares? Got a wife at home, 2.5-year-old at home. Honey, I'll be home later.
Yep.
We got to go punch a head coach in the face. Jackets at the Canucks, or not at the Canucks. That would be a later game. Home against the Canucks coming up here at 6:30. Puck drop at 7 o'clock over at Nationwide Arena. Our fan poll today at 971thefan.com or on X at 971thefan. Which of the 4 NFL divisional round games are you most looking forward to watching this weekend? I'm going to abstain from this vote. Pat, you're going to abstain from this vote.
Yeah, it's good.
Nate, can you answer this for us? Because we unfortunately are in a tussle Sunday evening at 6:30. Which game are you most looking forward to watching this weekend?
The sad thing is it is that one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. It is the Rams and Bears. Rams at the Bears, 6:30. You got the Bills at the Broncos, 49ers at the Seahawks, Texans at the Pats, and then Rams at Bears Sunday night.
Texans and Pats is going to be a good game.
Texans and Pats will be a good game. It's remarkable to me coming off of Monday night's victory for the Texans that CJ had like one of the worst quarterback performances ever by a QB in the playoffs, and you beat the Steelers by that much. So their defense is humming along now. Pat's defense is obviously humming along. So we'll see what happens in that game. Yeah, I mean, you're in the divisional round of the NFL, right? Like, this is where it starts to get really, really good. So, yeah, I mean, I will just say I'm looking forward to Sunday at 6:30 the most. But I think I'll have eyeballs on all 4 of these games.
Agreed. It was funny in a group message you and I are in today. One of our friends asked if there was going to be a place we were going to watch this game together. And before you even responded, I was like, there's a 0% chance Beam is leaving his house to watch this game.
Listen, man, I can't watch. I rarely do. Now, I've bought the NFL Sunday ticket the last couple of years since it's been on YouTube TV. I never leave my house during Bears games. During the regular season, it would be one thing. During the playoffs, to hear other people talking about the game, I can't do it. Like, you've got to lock me in a padded room because there's no chance in the world that I would be out in public watching my team play in a playoff game. I don't know how you do it.
The last time, it wasn't a playoff game, obviously, but I think the last time you and I watched any Bears game together, you left your jacket behind.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't give it to you for like 3 months.
Like, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of this place.
Yeah, I think you were summoned home.
I think I was. I think I was also picked up from the place that we were watching it by my lovely wife, Meredith. Pat, what else is burning in your brain about the Buckeyes?
Oh, I was just going to keep going on the Rams.
Yeah.
how they're going to lose this weekend.
No, the Bears are going to lose. You're not going to one-up me in that, buddy. The negative off? No way. You guys have a Super Bowl. Everyone in the chat is hating you for the jacket and shirt you're wearing. Bengals fans, Bears fans, everybody is hating on you for all your Ram stuff you're wearing.
Look, I get hated on a lot. It's okay. I've gotten used to it. Buckeye fans, Crew fans.
Yeah.
Blue Jackets fans probably, even though I don't talk about the Blue Jackets. But
boo somebody, boo this man.
Yeah. Anyway, the Buckeyes. I sort of touched on it before, but I just think that looking at what they are bringing back for next year is something I think should be appreciated in a time when that doesn't always happen. And not just the NFL draft guys, but a guy like Bo Jackson, who we brought up a few minutes ago. Like, work had to be done to ensure that somebody like that comes back, right? Kenyatta Jackson comes back. If you lose some of those guys, whether it be to the NFL draft, to the transfer portal, I think, the Buckeyes are always going to have a very talented roster. There's no doubt about that. But being able to bring those guys back is pretty important. And I think Ohio State's done a pretty good job of that. Like, if you go through the list of all of those guys, and there's quite a few that they lost to the transfer portal, there's not a guy that you're like, well, man, that really screws them for
I think there were a couple initially.
There were some surprises.
Where you're
no
like,
doubt.
boy, that stings, because this guy was on the precipice of maybe competing or being a legit starter for this team. But yeah, I think when you break it down to kind of brass tacks and take a step back a little bit, take a couple of breaths, yeah, you're right. I mean, Quincy Porter and Mylan Graham, right? I think both of us were very surprised. I think a lot of Ohio State fans were surprised that he was going to go in. Bryce West, Fahim Delane in the last week or so, I think, on the defensive side of the ball, like, boy, those guys were so close to being starters and or competing for those jobs. But again, I want to remind Ohio State fans, like, this is going on all around the country. And at the same time, maybe they're aware of the plans that Ohio State has in the back of their mind of guys who are in the transfer portal, a la the same thing that we saw yesterday with Dante Moore. Everybody's freaking out like, boy, Dylan Raiola, he's going to sit for a year? Like, what's he going to do? My guess is that Dylan Raiola knew that Dante Moore was going to return. Or he was clued in that he had a good probability and shot was going to do that. And so maybe Mark Pantoni, the coaches over at Ohio State, they've given these players, hey, we're looking for someone with veteran experience who has been able to play, has been on a roster, has starting experience to bring in. Maybe you want to look elsewhere. Again, I don't know that. I'm not privy to that information. But again, I would be shocked to know that those aren't real conversations happening over at the Woody or around any football facility right now around college football.
Right. And you have to also think about the guys that Ohio State fans are excited about bringing in. Most of them are guys that other programs' fan bases are like, man, that's a bummer that we lost that guy, right? So it works both ways. You don't have good players in the transfer portal without good players leaving. I will be very interested. We do, and I know other sites do as well, on Bucknuts, a recap of how transfer portal players did. We do it weekly, and this next year is going to be a pain to do.
Who's in charge of that?
Garrick Hodge does that. He came over.
Okay.
I was doing it at the beginning of the year. Then I passed it off to Garrick as like, hey, this would be something people are super interested. They can get familiar with your writing, like that type of thing. And he texted me like 3 or 4 days ago. And it's more players have entered the portal. He's like, I'm going to need help with this next year, or it'll take him a whole week to just do one story.
What is it, 29?
Yeah, something like that.
29 players?
I will be interested because every week looking at that story, it's like, well, this guy did okay. Like there's hardly ever a guy when you're looking back, it's like, man, we could have really used him if you're a Buckeye fan. I think like Jamison Williams
that was literally going to be the example that I used.
Yeah, but then look at Ohio State's receivers that year.
I know.
Like, did you need that guy?
And the only reason that you said that is because you got to the end of the year, you watched Alabama play and be like, boy, that deep ball threat from him was pretty good. And then you got to the draft and Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jamison Williams went 1, 2, 3, I think 11, 12, 13, whatever the number it was. That you got them going like, man, that could have been really good. I'm like, well, the reason it wasn't really good is because all 3 of them were elite and you probably could only keep 2 of them.
Right. One guy had to go to prove himself elsewhere. So yeah, I think they're probably going to be just out of the sheer numbers. And you mentioned like,
what about Joe Burrow?
Yeah, I guess that's a fair one as well. But you look at what Dwayne Haskins did that next year. Like,
I know. Joe also his first year at LSU like wasn't the world beater that he was in his last record-setting year at LSU.
Right. So I'll be interested to look next year at how these guys do, because there are some guys, you're right, like Delane, Porter, Graham, all those guys are guys that, Bryce West, Aaron Scott, like those are guys that could have really good years, and you look back and are like, that'd be nice to have them. But the Buckeyes haven't really missed a ton. So until that happens, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Tate Martell?
Tate Martell, who was out of football.
I think that's a bigger conversation for another day. Guys who have transferred away from Ohio State, like, boy, that would have been really nice to retain his services. Other than those two guys, like front of mind, I'm not really sure if I have another one. Nicholas Petit-Frere, I thought was, pretty good.
Yeah.
He played for Notre Dame, right? Or am I thinking of?
He was in Ohio State.
No, who am I? I'm thinking of someone transferred to Notre Dame. And he was very good. I can't remember right now.
The defensive lineman, Jean Baptiste.
Yeah, Javante Jean Baptiste.
He was good,
Nicholas
especially against Hustle.
Javante Jean Baptiste. French names. I don't either. Like that guy was pretty good.
Yeah,
but I don't think at the end of the season you're like, man, if we had him, it would have been a wrecking ball.
Yeah, and they saw him firsthand. They went head to head.
Yeah,
and
did.
He had a good game. But again, I don't know if it's based on what you had with JT and Jack. I think you're okay with what ended up happening.
Yeah, I do too.
Man, if only we had another day to talk about this.
Man, you're right. If we only had another day. It's a short show for us tonight. We're going to get you out to Nationwide Arena coming up here in just a few minutes. But good news for us. Tomorrow, we've got a 2-hour show that we're going to break down everything for Ohio State. Tomorrow coming up on the show, Spencer Holbrook. He's going to join us at 6:30. Tony Gerdeman, a Buckeye Huddle. He's going to join us at 7:30. And somewhere in the 2 hours, the General Bob Carpenter, he's going to join us. I don't know. Bob's got crazy things going on with his kids. We're going to try to track him down, try to record with him maybe before the show. What do you got going on tonight? What are you doing?
So I have a group of friends, some of them who might be listening to this, that they do on Thursday nights once football's done. They call it DDB nights, divorced dad bars.
Nice.
It's kind of hole in the wall where you might find a divorced dad hanging out on a Thursday. And so I think we're going to meet up and hit a couple places tonight.
I'm not going to dox you. I'm not going to ask you guys where you're going, at least on the air. Off the air, I will definitely ask. Pat, had a great time with you.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you tomorrow for 2 hours, all right?
Sounds good. Hopefully I won't be a little too hungover.
You'll be fine. Everybody have an awesome evening. Jackets up next right here on The Fan.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio.